Do you think you're ready? Genuinely, God is preparing you for the next chapter, but you actually have to be ready for it. Ecclesiastes chapter 3 verse 1 says, there's a time for everything, and there's a season where every activity is under the heavens. God is preparing you for the next chapter, but don't you think if you actually were ready, God would have prepared you and given you the next chapter and giving you the gifts and the blessings that you think you deserve? God's timing is perfect. We may want these blessings now, but God's timing is different from our own. He actually has the intent and the best judgment for us to be able to actually put us in positions where we'll be able to succeed. If we're in positions where we think we're ready, don't you think we would have received the gifts, the promotion, the relationship, or some of the financial statuses that we're putting in our prayers for? It doesn't seem to correlate to our own understanding because we think that we should have whatever we put our minds to after this X amount of hard work that we put in. If you're not where you want to be spiritually, how do you expect God to be able to give you the blessings which you clearly aren't ready for? And the thing is, there's always a preparation before elevation. Think of it when you're in school, you have to pass an exam to be able to move to the next grade. When you're learning how to drive, you have to be able to first, at least within Canada, you have to pass your G1 before you get your G2 and then do the test for your full G license. There's a series and increment of steps where you have to go through. You have to be tested before you're prepared to move to the next level. The same is true with our walk with God, because before you're elevated to the next level, you will face difficulties, and God will not give you an opportunity to receive blessings which you're clearly not ready for. Because if you have that opportunity and you're not ready for those blessings, you will in turn do more damage to yourself or others, depending on what sort of blessing you were asking for in the first place. Because think of it like this: the book of James chapter 1 verse 2 to 3 says, consider it pure joy, my brothers and sisters, whenever you face trials of many kinds, because you know that the testing of your faith produces perseverance. That production of perseverance is not only for enduring hardships and difficulties that may arise. It should also be in the sense of the perseverance when you think you're getting rewards that you should be entitled to and actually not receiving it, or you should be receiving some blessings based on the time you think you're ready, as opposed to when God knows when you're ready and you think you should be entitled to. And that's another thing too. We have this sense of entitlement because we've been obedient to God. We've been studying His Word. We think that now makes it a transactional relationship where we should be receiving blessings based upon us doing the bare minimum of following His will. Like, it doesn't make sense. And trust me, I used to be guilty of it myself. That's why I'm only showcasing this from a perspective of love, because I've gone through it myself and I don't want you guys to fall into that same slip. You have these expectations where you're like, I worked so hard for this and I don't see the results that I've set up for myself. You're setting yourself up for failure. Trust me, even with this YouTube channel, or you see, before I really got into this YouTube niche, you've seen it. You may have heard other YouTubers or other social media people speak about how they put in X amount of hours recording, X amount of hours editing, and just for them to finally release the video, it does not get the views that they expected or the type of response that they were expecting. You're setting yourself for failure because you're putting these expectations on based on what you think you deserve or based on what you think will happen, and it will ultimately fall short. Even if you do get your video or your project to do well, it may not be entirely at the numbers or the views that you're expecting, so then you're still even depressed in that instance. You're like, it didn't do as well as I hoped. But even that aspect is not one instance of saying you shouldn't have expectations, but you should be humble and be gracious for the blessings that God has already given to you within your life. It's the same thing for when it comes to worldly blessings, or in terms of like that example before within the social media realm. Like I alluded to before, our plans and thoughts and what's best for us is different from God's. The book of Isaiah chapter 55 verse 8 tells us this by saying, for my thoughts are not your thoughts, neither are your ways are my ways. God's understanding is different from our own understanding, and we may not be able to understand all that God has and does for us, but we should be able to trust His will and have faith that if we do actually think we're ready for a level up, that God will be able to provide it for us. But we also have to understand that if we haven't leveled up, we should continue trusting in His plan that He is working and will eventually level us up when we are seen to be fit for that level up. So friends, get ready for the next chapter, no matter how long it may take. Stay obedient to God's commands. Deny yourself, pick up your cross, and follow God daily. As most importantly, stay in His word and trust His timing always. So guys, if you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a like and check out my other videos within the channel. Appreciate you guys. Thank you so much, and God bless.